Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Magakudash. Today's portion we're going to be talking about the Torah, or the book, the Bible in itself. Okay? The Hebrew word Torah literally means instruction, teachings, or doctrine. The word comes from the root meaning to guide or to throw or shoot an arrow in a straight direction. So when Yahushai says he comes into the volume of the book, it's like he comes in the volume of the book. And we also know that Yahushai is also the Word who was with Yahweh in the beginning, where it says that in the New Testament. We are acknowledging that we literally cannot get to or reach Yahweh our Father without reading about him from the book, which is the Word, who is Yahushai HaMashiach. So, while we're talking about the Torah and the book, go ahead and grab your 1611 King James Version Bible, or I have a Sefer. My real Bible is packed away for when it's time to go. I got the real deal. This is just kind of my quick aid. So, we're first going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 6. And we're going. This is technically law number 12 that we're going into. The last video we went 1 through 11, so now we're going into 12. So we're going to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. And it says, "And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk to them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up." So you should constantly be teaching your children everything that's in these scriptures, which is your code of conduct, which is given to us by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Training up your child in the way that they should go, so that when they grow up, they will not depart. It's all throughout the scriptures. This is just what you do, whether you doing it before they go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, as you're walking the street, if you're catching the bus, if you're riding in the car. There's always something to be taught. There's always something to be learned in righteousness. Okay? Number 13 says, "To cleave to those who know him." You should be wanting to spend as much time as possible with like-minded people who know Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That they don't just, to know someone is intimate. You know how they feel, you know everything about them that there is to know, and there's a genuine love for that individual. So we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 20 for that one. And it says, "You shall fear Yahweh your Elohai. Him shall you serve, and to him shall you cleave, and swear by his name." So, in all things that you do, you should be clinging on to the ways, this godly conduct of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? And that's also in regarding not just cleaving the word to you. Yes, you should always carry some form of the Bible on your person or near you. In the military, we have a practice. We don't leave our weapon away that's out of reach. In fact, it's usually slung, even if you're sitting down, it's slung around your ankle so that no one can snatch your weapon from you. This book is your weapon in spiritual warfare. Okay? So, I'm no longer in the military. I've been out for about 10 years now. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I ain't never had to be shot or anything like that. The Most High just protected me. My testimony. I dodged 3 deployments. Not that I wanted to, but the Most High had other plans for me. Amen. Okay? So now we're going to go into number 14. which is not to add to the commandments of the Torah, whether in the written law or in its interpretation received by tradition. So, we are going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 13 and 1, and then we'll talk a little bit about New Testament, because there's portions of it that talks about it. So we're going to go Deuteronomy chapter 13. Verse 1. And it says, "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spoke unto you, saying, Let us go after other Elohim, which you have not known, and let us serve them." Okay. So now we'll go to verse 3. "You shall not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahweh Elohim proves you to know whether you love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul." Verse 4. "You shall walk after Yahweh your Elohim, and fear him, and guard his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him." Okay? So, that means you should be well versed in his law and his commandments and his teachings and his doctrines and his doings. Otherwise, anybody can say, well, anyone can give you a bunch of hearsay. And if you don't know Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, if you don't know what he loves and what makes him tick, you'll most likely believe it, especially if they have a certain countenance and how they speak, a certain cadence. If they're just a likable person, you'll be going off things that you shouldn't, where if you know Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you can rebuke your brother or sister, meaning correct in love, not in hate, so that everyone can be back on one accord, which is supposed to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay. There's also in the New Testament, there is a portion where you had certain religious leaders who the concept of washing of the hands before you eat, it's actually not written in the law in itself. Is it a nice practice? Yes. Especially post-COVID. You should want to wash your hands, but it is not a commandment given to us by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. It's just wisdom. Earthly wisdom. With that, we're going to go into number 15. So, not to take away from the commandments of the Torah, which is, it's directly connected to the one above it. So, just because you may not like what the statute of said law or instruction says, doesn't mean omit it. And there are some things in the law that are not, God doesn't care about your feelings in that matter. Earlier we talked about obeying. His ways are above ours, just like how the heavens are above the earth. Okay, there are just certain things that you just won't understand. After the judgment and he explains everything and whatnot, sure, you might get it then, but it's not for you to get everything off top. Sometimes just obeying the one or two or few instructions given to you for you specifically is going to save not just you, but the lives of others. Just by obeying. You don't have to sacrifice. So, just keep that in remembrance. And number 16, which is going to finish up this portion of learning about the Torah. This was just pretty short and concise. Okay, number 16 says that every person shall write a scroll of the Torah for himself. Now, initially, when this was given, well, let's go to Deuteronomy 31 and 19 first. Okay, it's Deuteronomy 31 and 19. Turn right to it. Okay, and it says, Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it to the children of Yasharallah. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Yasharallah. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swore unto their fathers, that flows with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves, and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other Elohim and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness. For it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination, which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. Okay, so now we're going to go to 19. Which is going to give the precursor to what we just read, okay? Now therefore, Salakia, 18. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, in that they are turned unto other Elohim. So, we're supposed to write down and have a written copy of the laws, okay, for a few purposes. This is my copy. I took the time to take all 613 laws, put them against the scriptures, and break them down, and that's what I'm trying to help break down to you guys on this day as well. Okay, the reason being is because when you don't, or you start doing your own thing, you have no reference point, a quick guide. What should I be doing when this scenario or situation comes up, and you start doing your own thing? You start potentially taking on the ideals of other nations who serve other gods and whatnot. And sure, it might sound great, but the Most High also tells us not to follow the ways of the heathen. Choose none of their ways. Don't choose their doctrines, because they're not for us. If you are for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you do not take from other tables. Okay? That's not for us to ingest. These scriptures are for us to ingest and wax and fat with. Okay? That means you eating good. Okay? So, that concludes the law on the Torah in itself. I hope to see you guys next time. We'll talk about signs and symbols. Okay? It should be a relatively short one as well. So, shalom.